and I hope everybody's having a great night, a great day. How you doing so
I'm doing
far?
great.
Good?
Yeah. It's getting a little hot, so I'm staying indoors, but feeling good.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you're in New Jersey, right? Right now? Yeah.
Yes, in New
Yes.
Jersey.
Yeah, it gets hot up there too, right? You guys get hot, and down here, Miami's always pretty much hot.
How
So
are things in Miami?
things in Miami here are pretty good for me. Like as far as like bit karate and stuff, and like the coronavirus, it's kind of slowed things down as far as business wise. But and they announced here in Miami that they're not gonna have school in person. They're gonna go virtual, which is a good decision, I think. You don't want to risk the kids, and you don't want to have them be guinea pigs. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a good thing. And uh, you know, we're adapting and adjusting, right? Like that's what you have to do. So I'm kind of making my school into like a day learning center where
Oh
parents still
wow.
have to work, but
hmm
it's gonna be limited. I'm gonna have like 10 spaces only, and we're gonna do all the CDC stuff.
Yeah,
So you
great.
just have to adapt. And how about you? I know that you were supposed to go back to school recently, right?
Yeah,
Or
I'm
now,
moving.
soon.
Yeah, I'm moving back to North Carolina August 16th. So they actually recently canceled all housing for upperclassmen, to reduce the amount of people on campus. So we were scrambling, and we ultimately found an Airbnb to stay in. Four of us are going to be in a house. So that'll be my new family having to quarantine together. But I'm excited
Yeah,
that we found a spot.
yeah. That's hectic, but you found a place, and it's gonna end up being fun.
Mhm.
That's great. And martial arts teaches that. Never give up and just keep going, and that's just awesome. Tonight we're gonna have Kodi Molina. We're doing this is the post show for the Ocean State Nationals. That was I think a few weeks ago already. But Christine Bannon Rodriguez, Don Rodriguez. It's a NASCAR virtual tour. She won, and we're gonna bring her on. She's on Team Macho. She's from Texas, and she's really good. You know, and she's from ATA also, right? So
Mhm.
I want to talk to her about that. That's like you were in ATA. The last guest we had, Catherine, was from ATA. There's a lot of champions, and I know that like Anthony Pettis on like MMA, he's a UFC, he was ATA. So they produce good
Mhm.
talent.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
Caitlin Deschelle as well.
Caitlin,
Mhm.
wow, yeah. I made a poll on Point Fighter in the group now too, that just so people can list it there because I want to know. I'm curious about that. But this weekend we have a tournament. Jeremy Roque actually, he's actually watching right now. That's funny that he commented right when I posted the flyer. What's up, Jeremy Power Baby? He's doing a great job. And him and David Scalar with the comeback tour. There's 4 rings. They're all in separate rooms, and I think that could be the future of sport karate. Maybe even for a big tournament. Let's say NASCAR, they have 20 to 25 rings. Maybe they could get a whole ballroom and set partitions up. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
like divide it. And it may be better. I mean, you may not be able to see teammates as much, but maybe like I noticed that in the tournament
Right.
a few weeks ago, there was less chaos, no problems. It was more calm. The people were just enjoying the competition. Sometimes there's people all over. It gets hectic. So maybe it could be something good that way. It could keep going. I mean, what do you feel about doing something like that for the future?
I tuned into the live with
Uh-huh.
Jeremy and saw that there's going to be a pilot sort of with bringing digital and in person, which I think is really cool in terms of accessibility. People who can't necessarily afford to get there, people who are
Yeah.
immunocompromised, who are still martial artists. So I think this is a really good opportunity, and it's good that we're becoming innovative in the sport. So
Yeah, they're actually doing that. They've had online, virtual, and then in person, and now they're going to combine it with. They're doing a test with selected divisions,
mhm.
like I think 4 divisions that they're going to be, going against each other virtually and
Yeah.
in person. I can't wait to see that. I'm going to be there, and we're going to be streaming. You guys got a lot of action this weekend. And Sport Karate is here, virtual or in person. It is alive, and well, it's just different times.
Mhm.
So and then next weekend we got Richard Osborne's Junior's event in Missouri. Then the following week, South Carolina. That's like every weekend is starting to come back.
Yeah,
Then
back to on schedule.
Yeah, and then now for fighting too, virtual, there's gonna be a tournament. I mean, set fights. Jesse Ray is doing like set fights, and that's pretty cool. We also have something going. Me and Josh Horridge, we've been talking about this like since for 2 years, and now is the perfect time. We're gonna do pro point, and we're gonna start out with the men first, but the next show could be the women. We're gonna have 8-man tournament, 7 seated. 7 are gonna be seated, and then it's going to be in one location, and they're just going to fight. There's going to be a wild card that they can fight it out either in the morning or the day before for that wild card spot. So it's going to be like an open weight tournament, and it's going to be streamed, and it's going to be pretty cool to see fighting like that. We got Bailey Murphy confirmed. We got Christian Rivas. There's a few other people that we're going to be pushing out there. It's going to be something exciting.
Yeah, the best of the best going to be on there.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited about that. Hey, let's not keep Kodi waiting anymore, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring her on. Here we go. Hey, Kodi.
Hello.
How you doing? Welcome to the show. Can you hear me now? Yeah, you can
yes,
hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay,
yes.
Good. I can hear you. All right. Well, congratulations, number one, on winning the Ocean State virtual event.
Thank you.
Congratulations with that. Now, how many divisions did you compete in, and how many did you win?
I competed in 4 different divisions, and I won all 4. 2 trad and 2 CMX divisions.
2 traditional and 2 CMX. Wow, yes. That's great. Now, did you compete at the American one as well?
I did not.
Or no? Okay, so this was your first experience as doing the NASCAR virtual tour. Now, how did you like it?
I loved it, actually. I like the point that you do as many routines as possible and then submit the best one. I kind of like the idea of that. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's good. That's pretty cool there. That's pretty good. Now, you're from Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and how long have you been doing martial arts for?
I've been doing martial arts since I was 4 years old.
And how old are you now?
I just turned 12 yesterday.
Oh, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. Wow, but you look older. I thought you were like 15 or 16 years old. I'm telling you, I don't know. You carry yourself, now that I see you better, you kind of do look younger than that, but you carry yourself almost like an adult. Like, that's awesome. You're so professional and everything. That's good. Now, Isabella, you guys have something in common, right?
Yeah, so we both did ATA, and I think that you also competed against one of my students, Corinne.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, exactly. But yeah, so one of my first questions was, I saw that you compete on multiple circuits: ATA, NASCA, the Texas Karate Association. So are there certain adjustments that you need to make or remember as you're shifting from each circuit, because you do them at the same time,
The only thing that in my mind has a change is fighting, in my opinion, because in ATA you can't punch to the head, you can only punch to the body, but in NASCA and TKO you can punch to the head, you can punch anywhere that's illegal still.
Do you have a preference for punching to the face or not punching to the face?
I like punching the face more, in my opinion, though. I like punching the face a lot. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, that's great. So at least now, you're able to compete in the forms and stuff, but like the fighting, not yet. How much do you miss fighting at tournaments?
I miss fighting so much. For me, I like fighting so much. It's so much fun. So I really miss it a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, everybody misses it. So yeah. Hey, so Team Macho, that's Christine Bannon is your coach as well. How did that all happen?
That honestly happened by Tyler Weaver and Riker Weaver. We kind of all it was at US Open, by the way. I was competing, I finished competing, and they started talking to Christine, and then that's how it created. That's how I got into Team Macho. That's how I got
That's awesome.
Yeah. I actually got onto my team straight up at US Open, so it must be a good luck tournament.
Yes, good luck tournament.
Yeah.
That was also my first win too. Was at US Open.
Wow.
That's my first win. And
hey, that happens a lot. You just never know. Like, sometimes people tell me, "How do you get on a team? How do you get sponsored?" Like, if I have money, I'll be able to go. I mean, if I had a sponsor, I'll be able to travel. But like, you have to get yourself out there in front of the teams and the coaches, and you got to perform. So that's what I tell them. I just tell everybody, just win, right? Just win, and don't worry about the winning, not about being sponsored or being on a team. That comes first. Now, talking about winning and going back to ATA, like I was gonna bring up this question, like how good is ATA? It's gotten a lot of champions. Like I was saying earlier. And even in the fighting side, Anthony Pettis, a UFC champion, ATA. You guys are both from ATA. We had our guest on the show a few weeks ago, ATA.
Her teammate.
Teammate. Sorry, yeah. Oh, yeah, your teammate. Yeah,
yes.
Your team. Now, who else is ATA? Do you guys know anybody else that's ATA that's a champion out there? Now, I know Catherine Tian as well that we had a few weeks ago. Is there anybody else? I know that there's some past people as well, but like present or anybody I could think about. That's a good topic to talk about because they do produce good competitors, right?
Right.
Yeah, they produce good competitors. And the only thing is that they're limited to, it's a closed organization, so you can't branch out. So that's when people go out of that circuit or that organization because they want to do other things. Caitlin Deschelle, right? As well. Yeah, she's like Wonder Woman, right? She's the son.
Literally.
Yeah, for real. So it's pretty cool because a lot of people knock on ATA. They're like, I've heard so many ATA like jokes, but I respect it. They do good. They pump out talent, and they do have a closed organization, and they're organized. Everything's big, so you got to give them respect. Especially with they didn't produce a champions, but you guys came from there. Now going back to that, the transition, right? What are some of the things you had to adjust to win in the NASCAR tour for both of you guys? I guess it's a good question for both of you.
For me, it was mainly for example, like for traditional forms, having to switch over to more traditional, more Japanese Shotokan, that area. That was a struggle for me. Quite a bit was getting the traditional forms to more like the NASCAR circuit and changing it up. That was a struggle. That was tough.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's tough.
The traditional forms. I remember when I first made the transition, I tried to do Japanese, and it just didn't fit with my upbringing. It's a very hard transition. I'm sure Kodi can attest to that. So when I was a junior, I tried to do Jap, and then into adults, I went back to my roots, and I do now Korean. You can sort of explore going back and forth. But I will say on NASCAR, in especially the youth, doing a Korean form against Jap forms is very hard to win.
Very hard.
Yeah, so it's one of those.
Yeah, that reminds me of Kempo. I'm Kempo, and then I remember for a long time they just added Kempo divisions, and for a long time our students would do great forms in in Kempo and traditional, but it's like it doesn't look like traditional. So they were the highest they could place was third. So that's good. Hey, so Isabella, what was your first tournament from ATA? Well, I mean, out of ATA, your first outside of ATA event.
Yeah. My first NASCAR tournament, you mean?
I guess.
Yeah. It was Amerikick, and I distinctly remember Mark Russo was my center. And I think I took first place there, and I did it to like freak out. I was 11. But yeah, that was my first.
So pretty instant. Now, that's good. That was good. So you had success quick. How about you, Kodi? When was your first time in
my first NASCAR term was US Open, and I was 8 years old. So
8 years old. Hey, were you guys nervous? Were you guys nervous?
I wasn't nervous. I just thought of it as a normal tournament to stay focused, and if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. It isn't just put on a show and have fun. That's what it's about.
That's a great mentality.
Yeah. Go ahead, Isabella. You got a question? Yeah. I got a bunch of questions. Go ahead.
Yes, you're an interesting person, Kodi. Okay, so you are one of the few people I like to call a triple threat: forms, weapons, and sparring.
Yes.
So how do you balance your training schedule with very different, or maybe similar, training practices?
Well, there's a lot of late nights and early mornings, having to wake up early. For example, like on school nights or school mornings, I have to wake up really early in the morning to do a strength and conditioning workout. And then I might train about an event like before school starts. So I'll train an event. It could be forms, weapons, or some sparring drills. And then I'll get ready for school. And then when I get back home from school, same thing, change, start training. Again, yeah, I just have to train. And then for me, fighting was mainly on the weekends. Because during my fighting partner, for example, they're like a couple hours away from here. And so I can't really go there every day. So again, weekends, in my opinion, is like my fighting weekend. And throughout the week will be like my events. Like our commas, bow, and open hands.
Cool. Now, and who do you train with in Texas? Where school are you from?
Right now I'm from Rojo Dojo. I train here at my house.
Oh yeah, Rojo Dojo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Yeah, we had somebody comment that here, Sandra. Yeah, Rojo Dojo. That's cool. That's what part of Texas are you in? Because Texas is huge.
Yes, I live in San Antonio, Texas.
Ooh.
San Antonio. Mm-hmm.
San Antonio. Hey, do you compete in San Antonio, like in Texas tournaments too? Like, do you go to like a TKO events or anything like you do? Yeah.
Yes, I do. They're in Austin, around Texas area. They're in Texas. Yes.
Yeah, Texas is a good sport karate. Texas is a good sport karate town, and it was more known for fighting, but now there's
they have awesome fighters here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of forms people there like now, like Carmichael Simon's in Texas now, I think too, right? And he's like a legend from the past. And then Alex, right? Alex
Mancias, yes.
Hey, do you get nervous? What's the thing that you're triple threat? Is there something which one's the hardest? Or which one gives you the most challenges?
They're all equally challenging in my opinion, because it's not really like that's something that's more challenging. They all have their like challenging moments in every single event that I do. So I can't really choose which one is the most challenging. I can't.
Yeah.
Well, that's what keeps it interesting, right? You got to work for all of them.
Mhm.
Yeah. But man, it's really hard to do all that, to do everything like that. That's like, man, because just to be a great in one part of the sport is super hard, and like to do all three, that shows a lot of skill. But that's the way it used to be done in the past. If you think about the 80s, everybody would do it. My dad did forms, weapons, and fighting. He would do the bow, and but then I guess maybe I don't know what happened. I never wanted to do forms. I would get so nervous when I would do forms. So I would say for me, I would be more nervous doing form. But of course, you get used to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
With everything, you just become an expert on it. Yeah. Hey, so go ahead, Isabella. You got anything else for her? I know you got to ask me great questions. So go ahead.
So yeah, I've seen you on NASCA stages, some of the biggest stages. What are your goals for 2020? What do you want to see yourself in this next, or 2021? I'm sorry, in the next year.
I want to make it on again 9 shows, and I want to win. I want to win overalls again. I've won 1 overall so far at US Capital Classics, and it would be awesome to do it all over again on multiple tournaments.
Nice.
Throughout the entire season, it would be awesome to do that.
Do you have a favorite stage that you have competed on so far?
I have to say US Capital Classics. That was like the very first time and the only time so far that I've won overall grands on the night show. So that will have to be like the night show that I've.
Nice.
Good.
That's cool. Hey, so are you gonna do any other? What you have anything this year upcoming? That any other virtual events that you're gonna do?
There's like the quarantine qualifiers. I've been doing those lately.
Oh, the SMA ones.
Right.
That's right. Mm-hmm. They've been doing it, and they're free. They got a great thing going. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so you've been doing those. So you've been active. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Hey, so aside from karate, what else do you like to do? Like, tell us a little more about some hobbies.
Yes, I love playing lacrosse. I started playing lacrosse about this past year, and I really like it a lot. So much fun. I do lacrosse, and then it's just so much fun. And then for school, yes, for school, I made the cheer team for school, so that's exciting. Yes. Those are the 2 sports that I mainly do out of karate, or lacrosse, and cheer for school. Mm-hmm.
I think it's great when I see martial artists also do like a team sport, because that's why we have teams in karate. It's mainly an individual sport, and then you go play like lacrosse or soccer. You really learn that aspect of like how to be in a unit towards a goal, and I think that's really great. That's awesome. Do you do like cross training in any way with lacrosse, or is it?
Yes.
Okay.
We do lacrosse training. I do some private lessons on every day throughout the week. But then, yes, and then for team practice, we have those on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Wow.
They're about an hour and a half long.
You are busy. You are very busy.
Yes, very busy day.
So you teach as well. Do you see yourself like maybe wanting to own a school or being an instructor, or you have other goals and other, a sport karate competitor, of course, but like your career, would you make that a career or not?
My dream school, for school wise, my dream school is to be in Harvard. That's like my dream school. I want to become medical, and that would be awesome if I could do that. It's like my dream.
Wow, those are great goals right there. And so how's everything been with you, during like the whole quarantine stuff? It must be difficult, right? Especially as a kid, because you have all these friends and like, right? Like, how have you handled everything?
So I handle everything. So I make a schedule for every single day throughout the week. And so I wake up at around 8:30. I do a strength and conditioning workout outside, and then I run a mile. And then sometimes, or every single Monday and Wednesday, I have this kicking class at 11 Central, 11 to 12. That's where we teach kicks with like the band zone that we have. We do that, and then right after that, we take about like a 2-minute break, and then we start running sections for our forms. Again, every single day it's something new. It's either open hands, weapon tosses, comma releases, bow staff sections, or just sparring drills. Every single day the events change, but the schedule stays about the same every single day throughout the week.
Wow. I can't believe I'm talking to a 12-year-old.
I know.
I'm like, wow. Really, like, shout out to your parents and your dojo. They've done a great job, because, like, wow, it's impressive, like what you're doing. How you are. You're so professional. It's very impressive and inspiring as well to anybody. So that's great. Thanks for joining us tonight on the show. I had a great time. Isabella, thanks for joining us again. I hope everybody out there liked the show. Ocean State Grand Nationals was awesome. Hopefully next year could be in person. But this weekend there's going to be an in-person tournament in Orlando. Make sure you watch the streams, and also check us out on Instagram and YouTube. This show's actually on YouTube Live as well. I got it to go on simultaneously, so that's something new that I'm pretty excited about. Nice. Okay, just getting a bigger reach. We're getting close to 1 million followers too.
Wow.
I'm gonna do a giveaway. Good. Yeah, we're gonna do a giveaway. Like, I'm super excited about that. And it's just the beginning. We're getting our sport out there, and everybody's gonna know about our sport. Okay, because of people like you guys, superstars. All right. Thanks for joining us. All right, everybody have a good night.
You too.